Now, I mentioned how you could reconfigure what icons show across the bottom of the home screen. I did not say, though, is that whatever you choose there is what shows up on the lock screen should you choose to have shortcuts on the lock screen at all. You can unlock the device just by swiping the ring up, or go to a particular application directly just by pulling it into the ring. If I go into this folder here, that's where I have the personalize application sitting. You can see I have access to multiple different styles of lock screens: social networking, photos, notifications, which is probably useful for people taking care of business. Also access to your contacts and clocks, and I rather like the floating stock prices as well. So let's go here into photos just for the heck of it. I'll apply that. And I'll just say go through the camera shots and use that as the source. Now when we go to the lock screen, we have floating images instead of the weather. Go back to personalize again. There's scene support, so you can have multiple different layouts recorded. Let's see, which one am I going to do here? Let's pull up social, I suppose. I'll apply this, and you'll see the entire layout of the device changes. Home screens are all changed. And then I can quickly go back. Let's use the task manager here. Go into personalize again, and I will put the scene back to HTC, which was the default one I was using, and everything will be restored to how I had it initially. Other things you can change from the personalized application: wallpapers. You can also reorganize the home pages the same way you saw us by long pressing on the home screen. Change the skin, although that doesn't seem to have too much of an impact on the device. The notification area in this version I'm using, called Fracture, is transparent from the home screen. Pretty much they're all the same otherwise. Down here at the bottom, see tabs, and you can get to customizations for quickly setting your ringtones and things like that as well. Like most of the HTC applications, you can long press on the tabs to rearrange them and add them, but most of them don't really seem to have much you can add at this time. Take a look at the web browser here. See, this is the Mobile Burn web page. Full flash support. The device scrolls very smoothly. It does not intelligently zoom all that well, though. You see, notice how it's not narrow enough right here. Go into landscape mode and try again. And you notice it flips around a little bit better. Have tab support. You get to that by the going to the top, hit tabs. See, I've got multiple things open right now. When you're scrolling down, the controls at the top of the screen disappear, so you have to drag down a bit to get access to the menu, so you can get to things like bookmarks, or again the tabs. This is the Sun Spider benchmark I ran. Zoom in here so you can see. 1970 milliseconds. One of the things I like about the browser is that the menu has access to some commonly accessed settings, such as turning the flash player on and off. So I can turn off the flash player. You'll see the web page will reload with only static content. Video is still going to be there though, because there's HTML5 video support. I'm going to see if I can show you some of the zooming problems I mentioned previously. I'm going to try to double tap on this, and instead it played. And there you can see the zooming issue. It totally loaded up a different part of the page. The video plays back well though. Good frame rate, good audio. have problems trying to control it though. You'll see can't get the pause button to work at all. For my money though, if you're going to use a browser and you're running an Android 4.0 like the One X is, you really want to check out Google's Chrome beta. It's just an absolutely fantastic browser. It has a great interface, it's very easy to use, it's very fast, and it syncs up with Chrome on the desktop, so you can actually access tabs that are open on your desktop browser. The only real downside is that it doesn't currently support Flash. So here's the camera application. It's really nice for so many different reasons. Quick access to controls here, settings, scene modes as well. Even have convenient access to filters, say a nice vignette look. You can record just by tapping on the shutter button there. It'll focus whenever it finds a subject. You can also record multiple shots by holding down the button, which is pretty neat. Perhaps even better yet though is when you're recording 1080p video and all you have to do is tap that button there and it will start recording video. You don't have to switch modes or anything like that. While doing that, you can still record full 8 megapixel images. So I'll record a couple of still photo shots here. You see them popping up there, and I'm still recording video while doing that. Hit stop. Give it a second to catch up. Go into the gallery view. There's the 1080p video. And it will start recording video. You don't have to switch modes or anything like that. While doing that, you can still record full 8 megapixel images. So I'll record a couple of still photo shots here. You see them popping up there, and I'm still. And there was no interruption whatsoever. And if I just swipe over, there's one of those still photos I shot while we were recording the video. This is the movie editor application I wanted to show you. It's pretty neat in what it does theoretically. I've not found it to perform particularly well though. I've had problems getting it to render. You can see I dragged in a bunch of different clips there of my son at his Korean class. You can get a preview of it. There's themes, so you see it does cool animations and everything for the transitions. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be possible to create a movie without a theme, which I think would be a rather typical need. There are a number of Google applications built in. I've got some of them right here. The Google Plus social networking client. And of course there's also the Gmail email app, all nicely done in a new Android 4 look. Can jump to labels here and say just starred ones and pick one of the messages with formatting so you can see it. Still no multi-touch zooming though in Gmail. Select multiple messages very easily and then delete them if you like. Very nice email client. Full support for all of Gmail's many features, threaded viewing, also priority inbox and things like that. HTC includes a number of applications of its own, including FriendStream for handling all your Twitter and Facebook feeds, all one nicely combined view. You can do pretty much anything you would need to from the FriendStream application. You also have access to let's see if we can place one. Access to the FriendStream widget. Go into widgets here. And there's FriendStream. Place that one. Take a look at it. And it's pretty much just like what we saw in the main application. HTC also includes the Show Me application, which has tutorials on how to use the device. Mirror, which is basically just uses the forward-facing camera. Teeter, the game. Watch is its service for video rentals. There's also cool integration with its Notes application, which is basically a fancy front end to Evernote. You can see these are pulling down things from Evernote. It's just a test category with some photos and text in it. You can see a picture of some salmon from the other night. Can record audio into it and play it back. I think I actually had some audio there to begin with. Right? Record audio into it and play it back. Can annotate as well. Oh, actually, I'm using the eraser. Hand-drawn notes. It's a pretty cool application. I mentioned that I would show the PDF viewer application, and one of the reasons that it's interesting is that, like Polaris Office, it actually integrates with a Dropbox account or SkyDrive on Microsoft's cloud service. HTC One devices like the One X come with an additional 25 gig of Dropbox storage for 2 years, which is really a good deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up a PDF that I have stored on Dropbox, and you can see that I can use the PDF viewer to access it. If I jump into the Polaris Office application, you see I have access to those very same files. Dropbox can also be used to automatically upload all of your images and videos that you shoot automatically. You can have it go over any wireless network or only over Wi-Fi if you prefer. And since this is a Beats audio device, it's probably relatively important to check out the music application. Again, you have access to a number of different music sources: SoundHound, TuneIn Radio, and 7 Digital. 7 Digital is a music store where you can buy music. I'm just interested in what I have stored on my own device though. Organized nicely. See, it's pretty cool. Pull up a track. And of course there's HTC widget support for music players. You can see in the notification area I have the ability to pause it. Use the task switcher here to go back though and restart it. And we'll shut off the device to check to see if there's any music integration in the lock screen. And of course there is. Now on to some of the problems. Right now you're seeing HTC Sense starting up on the home screen. It's been running for a few seconds here as I just hit the home button from the movie editor. This happens relatively often, and it seems like the 1 gig of RAM is insufficient and maybe the home screen task is getting killed off in the background. I don't know, but it can prove to be quite annoying at times. Also, I've been using this device pretty heavily now for the better part of an hour, and it is quite warm. We've always suspected that the Tegra 3 processor from NVIDIA was going to be warm, and this seems to be the first real example that it is a rather hot running processor. Another issue that I've seen is that the device seems to jump back and forth between HSPA and regular plain Jane 3G UMTS data connections fairly frequently. You can see I've got a 3-bar signal here. It says H for HSPA. I've often found this device flip-flopping back and forth between 3G and HSPA, and it appears to consume some extra battery life. Talked to some other people that are testing the device. They had the same problem, and it's also something that's been seen on the European versions of the Galaxy Nexus as well. And you can just see that even though I've got 3 bars of signal, it just jumped back to regular UMTS as I was speaking. So that is the HTC One X. I can't tell you how much I love this device. To me, it's everything that the Samsung Galaxy Nexus for Google should have been, but just wasn't for some reason. It has a really sexy design, a lovely display like the Galaxy Nexus, very large as well, and all the ice cream sandwich Android 4.0 goodies that you would come to expect. Sense has been pared down a bit. It's not as heavy as it is in version 3.5 and 3.6. It still seems to get in the way once in a while, as you saw with the home screen issue there. But really, really lovely device. I'm really looking forward to testing out the AT&T version with LTE data. Of course, that one only runs with a dual-core processor, but really just love how this phone has worked out for me. It has things like, you know, everything you'd expect. The Android Beam NFC support. It's got the face unlock feature if you want to use that. Just really, HTC has done a fine job of translating Android 4.0 into its own flavor, and it comes across in both the hardware design and in the software as well. So again, that's the HTC One X from MobileWire.com. I'm Michael Orl. Thanks for watching.